Hello there. Welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. I am obviously Meglo. This is obviously Explore the Beyond, and this is obviously Scales of Destiny. A lot of obviously's, a lot of assumptions. I hope you're all doing well. I am excited to continue last week's story. It was a good session last week, obviously. Thank you for the 24 months, Rando. 2 years. That's impressive. That's a lot of years. It's a lot of months. It's a lot of money. Yeah. I'm feeling a bit tired today, but not anywhere near as bad as recently. So that's a positive, surely. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. Now, I don't really know what I was about to say. My mind kind of went blank, which is really, really positive start for the session. So yeah, again, this session will be quite similar to last week in that not much will be happening on the screen. So feel free to, or maybe not much will happen on screen, we'll see. So feel free to just kind of listen in the background while you're doing other things. Pop in with a few kind of like, if there's anything that interesting happens and you're just like, whoa, how cool, or, you know, anything like that. But other than that, just, you know, chill, listen. It's all good. We will be here for the next few hours, just kind of playing D&D, enjoying ourselves. So yeah, I'm gonna undeafen myself, bring in the group, see what they're chatting about, and let's play.
As a vampire, but I don't know. I don't want to make a massive castle, but considering it made it so much harder because we had far too much wealth. I should probably keep it nice and small. Although when you guys start sending loads of characters and items in, you can't really. Oh.
Yeah, it was. Well, I went slowly grow pretty quickly.
It would be rapid.
I know, right? Huge wealth. Huge
wealth that got us killed.
Oh, colony die.
Roasted.
Oh no.
Massacre.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. In the immortal words of the Chuckle Brothers. Well, I think it's Josh's turn, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Take it away.
So, we started with our cruelly drawn map from Steelbrow in the evening to night time. We head out of the hive to our first location in the city, which was the cathedral, and we decided to search it for a bit. Not really finding much on the surface. It was very ruined. But then Bryn and Vic and Sköld decided to explore downstairs a bit, finding some items. Can't remember, did I write down what they found? A battle axe. They found a battle axe down there. And then we headed out of the cathedral with Rukin having to take out 2 guards because Aqua slipped up on his stealth. But we managed to come out of that unscathed. We then make our way over to the armory. And Aqua is all on this one as he not only finds a small dent in the floor that he keeps fixating on, he also sees a secret door behind a filing cabinet. And that secret door, Vic pulls it off a wall to find it's a portal hole, and Aqua opens a dip to find a secret room, which also has the owner of the shop in, who, after Aqua gives some convincing to, helps her out. She gains his trust and gives the group some items that Aqua then hands to Vic because they are heavy, and then we head off to the relics. Yeah, the relic store, which is completely run down again. Aqua and Vic don't really find anything on the first floor, where Bryn decides to search the top 2 floors and finds a couple of interesting items. But not much there. And as we leave, we decide to go back, ignoring the fountain, to head to the temple. And in doing so, we end up seeing a group of drow all gathered around. And after a bit of discussion, Bryn comes up with this great plan that works pretty well. And
It was a fantastic plan. It was an amazing and fantastic plan.
Okay. And she manages to make the drow leave, having convinced them that there are imposters somewhere else in the city. And as I'm pretty sure Vic and Aqua are waiting as Sköld and Bryn go in, and Sköld does some praying and also looks for some items, getting a unique hammer. And as we're about to leave, we start to hear some rumbling and some light coming from the city. And as it gets closer, we realise it's a fire giant, from what Vic and Aqua and Sköld can remember. And we decide to take a jump of faith pretty much over a wall. We all land successfully, and with a good few hour, about an hour, run/walk through the city, we end up at the bank, which then Aqua decides to just walk in, falls through a trap, setting himself on fire and landing him into an underground water pool that's underneath the bank. And that's where we are.
Nice. Thank you. So yes, with the party having checked in on Aqua, at least, with your sort of permanent telepathic connection that allows you to speak to each other at great distances and seemingly across planes, or distance or whatever, you are now separated. The 4 remaining on the surface outside the bank, Vic, Sköld, Ruken and Bryn, you can still hear very little. It's a very quiet city. You can hear the occasional patrol pass somewhere in the distance, and the fire giant does occasionally make a pass fairly close by, but with some simple and easy stealthing, you are able to avoid detection. Aqua, however, you being underwater isn't too much of a hindrance. You are able to breathe, you are able to swim, you are uniquely suited to this. You are seeing thousands upon thousands of these metal plates, essentially, that vary in shape. Some are square, some are sort of circular, others are hexagonal or octagonal, and there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason between the shapes from the distance you are, but they're stacked with only 4 or 5 feet between each, and they just kind of float in the water and seemingly descend endlessly below and outwards and above you. Wherever you look, you can just see thousands of these plates just off in the distance, and each one emits enough of a glow that allows you to see quite clearly. Like, there's no issue of hindered sight here at all. And you feel around you that there seems to be a sort of flow of water descending into what could potentially be described as like walkways or passageways that they're not enough to buffer you or move you, but they sort of draw you, you know? They kind of guide you and keep you on track. And you can sort of focus and you can sort of make out that moving water in each alleyway between sort of every two slabs as a passageway type thing. And it just seems to go on and on and on.
Okay.
Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Ooh. That's about right.
Take 1 point of psychic damage as you take a few seconds and a few moments to assess your surroundings, and then suddenly this piercing scream starts ringing through your head, and it goes on and on and on, seemingly for minutes, it seems. And then the scream dies down. Silence again, your ears ringing, your head spinning. A voice, calm and gentle, but with a sense of power behind it. Who are you to invade this space?
I am Aqua, a adventurer looking for items to help defeat a sower. Who are you?
The piercing scream rings out again. You take another 6 points of psychic damage. As the piercing, like the scream continues again, seemingly for minutes, and as your vision comes back and your eyes focus again, ahead of you, you can see a shadow of a figure that's too blurry, too out of focus to form into a shape that seems to be coming towards you. And as it does, you can see that the shadow extends out into tentacles, and just that seem to squirm and float in the water, and occasionally it'll push out in your direction. And it's a creature that you've heard of and would fear living in the water plane like you did, that is truly, it's if when these things are mentioned, it sends shivers down anybody's spine that is native to the plane of water. And for good reason, they're known as destructive creatures. This is the shape of a kraken.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
And it's just hovers and floats in front of you in the water. I ask again, who are you to invade this space?
I am sorry. I fell through a door that brought me here. It wasn't trying to invade your sanctuary. If you show me the way out, I will be going now.
You have entered the vault unescorted, uninvited, and yet you are still alive.
know what's happening on the surface?
What happens elsewhere is not of my concern.
So, I'm assuming you're a guard for the vault then?
If you wish to think of it like that, then yes.
Well, all I need to know is there anything in the vault that could help us defeat a dragon?
Roll a persuasion check. With disadvantage.
Okay.
So your intention is to come here and steal items that I have been sworn to protect, is that correct?
You are twisting my words, aren't you? If you have no items that can hurt a dragon, then no. We will happily leave and not touch the vault at all. But we would at least like to have a look if there's something in there that could hurt a dragon.
There are millions of items that have been stored in these vaults for hundreds of years beyond count by potentially up to millions of people. Probability would suggest that yes, there is something in here that could kill a dragon. But as you are not the designated owner of said items, you are a thief.
Actually, no, because I've not stole anything. I walked in here by accident and asked for the way out.
You
So,
walked into the bank, triggered the security system, and have ended up where you do not need to be. I have been summoned, and yet alive you are, which is irregular. No spells may pass through this area.
that is an odd one. Well, there's no one upstairs anymore. This whole place is abandoned. So, we didn't know who to ask to come in. We kind of just invited ourselves, which sounds bad on the surface.
It sounds
But it's-
bad under the water too.
Puns. That wasn't funny. Well, thanks for your time. I'm going to swim that way. Don't worry, I'm not going to touch anything. Have a nice day. I'm going to try and swim in the opposite direction.
Okay, roll a strength check for me.
The strength check
Come on, Josh, you can do these.
with my 0+.
Oh.
Well, it's better than my persuasion, which is my skill.
As you turn and start to swim, despite being a natural swimmer and, you know, having literally grown up underwater, you find yourself being held back. There's something preventing you from swimming away.
Okay.
If you wish to leave, you are required to make a deposit and become an account holder. Those are the rules of the bank.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, doesn't seem too bad.
Roll an insight check for me.
Why are you depositing?
Apparently, my body. Where's my insight?
Take a dump in the water. That's my deposit.
Oh, Rob.
Rob, get me with the drop.
The sort of shadowy figure and voice ahead of you floats, and one of the shadowy tentacles reaches out and wraps its tentacle around your leg, and so it starts just kind of swimming in a direction, following obviously the pathways and alleys that have been created between the slabs. And you're swimming for a while, or you're being dragged for a while, but seemingly without purpose. And then you're brought to... It's familiar but different to what you're used to. It's a portal that your people used to use to travel between the plane of water and the material plane. And the creature just swings the tentacle holding you forwards and throws you through the portal, and you end up in a room slamming quite hard onto the floor, which is made of very hard flagstone. And you are deposited into a room which is cylindrical in shape and ascends 100 feet upwards. And the ceiling is decorated beautifully with art you can't quite make out, that seems quite intricate and dwarven. But ahead of you there is a desk also made of stone that seems to be made out of one piece of stone. Very typical of the dwarves. You would expect, or you would assume, that normally there would be somebody sat there manning the table, manning the desk, but there is no one. There is a door behind it that has racks on the wall with thousands and thousands and thousands of keys that seem... It's one of those sort of... It's basically like a drawer almost. As you look at it, you can see them piled into each other, behind each other. No. They're hung up behind each other. There we go. That makes more sense. Describe it correctly and you'll know what I'm talking about. And they just seem to, 10 feet tall, as high as the door, just so far back.
And what's the situation with the portal? Is that like closed up, or is that still open with...
Portal's still open. You can't see through it. It's sort of opaque, but you can see it looks like rippling water.
Can I hear through it?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on my little walkie-talkie and ask Vic and the gang how they're doing upstairs, and that I may have found the guard to the vault and all the keys to the vault, but I'm not making it out on my own or alive.
Right.
Um,
Do we... So we walked over the part that he fell through, right? Or someone did.
Bryn did,
I think
yes.
Bryn did.
Yeah.
And didn't fall through, so... But you're a dwarf. Do you reckon it detects if someone's not a dwarf? Maybe?
I don't know if I
I
feel
don't
like
wanna
risking it, to
chance
be
it.
honest.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like he's having a fun time down there. But maybe we have to go further into the vault. Maybe someone works here, is hiding in here, and they can help get him out.
Maybe, or can he just get out without causing a fuss?
It is Aqua though.
You don't always need the things that are down there, though. It would be nice. It's not worth risking your life for.
No, I mean, considering we went to like a couple of shops so far and did okay,
Mm-hmm.
something with like some kind of thing guardian down below does seem a bit more. But it does maybe mean better items, maybe.
Potentially, see where you're coming from. It would make sense
Have
being in the bank.
Yeah, have any of you got any spells that can detect people? Like within close radius, maybe we can detect other, I don't know, workers in the vault?
See, detect some magic, but
I don't know if that's
evil,
kind of things.
poison. Um,
Sorry, I just realized I'm part of this. What was the question?
Good job, Yathina.
I was literally thinking I was
Any-
listening to a podcast, and then I was like, wait, I'm playing.
Locate the creature.
Any spells? Yeah, not a specific creature though. So I think locate creature does specific.
Yeah.
What did I refresh One Foundry for?
And spells to help with what? To get Aqua?
Well, I want to see if there's any people like, because obviously it sounded like, I'm guessing you filled us in on this information, that the Guardian was requiring someone who works at the bank I don't know,
Well, I
to get us in
kinda-
there. So,
Depending on how long you are, would be whether or not I update you more on what the creature is and that we should avoid it at all costs.
Not really. I just have Dispel Magic, but that's it.
I mean, should we just try to go further in? I'm a bit worried that I might fall as well. I'm wondering if it is because you're a dwarf you're okay, but sure they wouldn't want any like non-legitimate dwarf in. So I don't know if it could be a dwarf specific.
Can I go back and see if I can find the trapdoor that Aqua fell through?
You can make an investigation check and see. It seems pretty sturdily kind of and pretty impressively hidden away. Like,
How much further past that? Like, is there a door straight away? Is it open?
it's a small wooden room that, as you look in, you can see a front desk essentially, and there are two doors in it in the room, one to the right and one ahead of you.
I should keep trying to go through, try to find. There might be like there was someone hiding in the last place. Maybe there's someone hiding in here. They'll know how to get him back.
Maybe let's have a look around and see if we find someone, and if not, then I have a backup plan.
Okay. Can you be prepared to cast Fly on me again in case I
Yes.
fall?
I can also cast Feather Fall on you. I can do either one, but Fly is probably more helpful.
Yeah, rather stay up here.
Fly is up to 10 minutes. I'm going to cast it on you now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can do it.
I wonder if you could fly down there. Fly down there, cast it on Aqua, but I don't know what's down. Something bad's down there. Okay, so I got fly just in case I fall. But instead, I'm just going to float over it anyway.
Okay. As you step into, well, as you float through the threshold of the door, there's nothing happens as you go through the door. And then as you sort of enter the room, you're about 5 foot into the room. Make a dexterity or strength saving throw for me.
I think we know what we're going to do there.
Okay. You are
Take it.
almost immediately, as soon as you kind of make it enough into the threshold of the room, walls from your left and right suddenly just enclose into you, like a vice just immediately slamming together. And you are barely able to get your elbows out to the side and kind of hold your arms together with your fists together, giving you enough space to just keep yourself from being crushed. Your elbows are keeping these walls that have got a lot of force behind them, are keeping them sort of away from you. And all of the furniture seems to have phased through the walls, doesn't seem to have affected it. It is purely the walls coming in and trying to crush you, essentially.
Kind of magic walls. Little help, anyone?
Sure. Try and I also try and help.
Okay. What you did?
Just going to see if I can pull those or push those vice like grips away.
Make a strength check for me.
Alrighty then. Oh no.
It is very strong. Like, the fact Vic is holding these walls apart at all is impressive. There is almost no chance that you at the moment are going to be able to push one of them away, let alone both or anything.
Bryn, might need your help as well.
Instead of helping them, I'm going to cast message and see if I can contact Aqua. I have a backup plan. Because message is 120 feet. I want to see if he's more than 120 feet below us. Aqua, are you there?
You need to know where to point to talk to him.
Downwards. I'm pointing downwards.
Okay. Nothing.
Nothing. Shit. Okay.
Well, I'm also magical silence, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood blocks the spell.
Yeah, I know. I have a plan. I just wanted to see if that works or not.
There's definitely more than 1 foot of stone in between the two of you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll then try and help them keep the walls apart. I don't know.
Hold the door.
Yeah.
Can I enlarge myself? Would that be advisable? Would that...
Up to you. Bryn, make a strength check for me.
No.
Again, like even with you and Sköld working together, nothing. It's just too strong.
Okay.
Can I enlarge myself then and try to like squeeze my way out of it? You know, strength my way through, kind of thing.
Okay. As you embiggen, your elbows still kind of viced together with your fists pushing. Like, it's starting to hurt quite a lot, but as your body grows, it just naturally pushes the wall apart. Like, this process basically can't be stopped. And with your 30 strength as well, like, it's just pushing it back enough where you gain enough space and you kind of take a few deep breaths with the bit of gap between your elbows and your actual body, either side, you just sort of pull them apart enough, and then just take a deep breath. Push your arms, bring your arms in and take a step back. And as you do, you are literally in millimeters away. Your nose is just the tip of your nose is millimeters away from just being enclosed in the vice-like grip of the walls. And you're free, you're safe, but it was close.
Yeah. You know what would have been good in that situation? Movable rod.
Right? That would have been really helpful. Oh, if only had an immovable rod.
It wouldn't have been any good to you guys. It would have been with me.
Not if I had anything to do about it.
I mean, that went through the chairs, so that it's like a magical thing, like a trap. I wonder if we could dispel that. Or are there any buttons around? Should we look for some buttons or runes or something that might deactivate this thing? I don't know.
I mean, I could just dispel it, yeah. I'll just cast Dispel Magic and try and dispel whatever this is.
Are you trying, what specifically are you trying to dispel?
The moving of the walls.
Okay. As you send out your dispel magic, you feel resistance. And then feels like it's gone.
Okay. Did they stop moving?
Oh, sorry. Yes, the walls retracted back as soon as Vic stepped out.
Okay.
I thought about saying it, didn't want to interrupt what you were saying, then forgot to say it.
Did it work? Do you know?
Be safe to.
Maybe, potentially. You can try again.
I'll put a foot in.
In
And
out.
pull it out again.
Shake it all about.
Yeah. I'll put a foot in to see if it starts closing, ready to pull out as soon as if it does.
Okay. You put your foot through the door. Nothing seems to happen.
And at that point, when I was in there originally, had it started closing?
When it started, it started enclosing in on you after about 5 feet while you were in the room.
Okay. I'll hang back a second.
Feel lucky, punk.
Not really. Can I have a look around, see if there's any obvious things we're missing?
Sure, roll an investigation check for me.
Like any runes or things. I can do it from up here. Investigation.
18. Blimey. It
That's
doesn't.
last week.
For the most part, the room seems really mundane. You would probably expect to find a room that looks like this. Literally any tiny small village or town that isn't in Karasgard. The fact it's all made out of wood is very different. It's very unique. There isn't really there isn't a supply of wood in Karasgard good enough for buildings or anything really to be made of wood. It's quite a valuable trade resource here. And even on the outside, the walls are just smooth stone. So there's nothing that you can see within reach that would potentially be able to sort of disarm anything or help you enter. And from a distance as well, you can't really see anything that would potentially be useful.
Based on that investigation check, would I think that this maybe is like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all fake, not fake, but like an illusion.
An
That's it.
illusion. That's a good question.
Like you say, like there's not much wood around. It's a bit weird. Doesn't fit. Magical walls.
Yes. You don't feel like you're not being necessarily an arcane caster. It's difficult to sort of pick up on like residual magic. You don't feel anything, and for the most part, even with that investigation check, like, it seems fairly solid.
Okay.
But again, you know, you're not like an illusory magic is quite an arcane thing. So you wouldn't really know what to look for.
Yeah, okay. I'd probably ask any one of the others. Mainly Bryn, I guess, has got more arcane-y.
Arcane.
I mean, the others got the divine kind of magic,
Yeah.
but
I
well,
mean,
be in the same broad strokes. But I'd ask you to look at it just to see if you think it's a bit off. Maybe, I don't know.
I'll do that, but I'm going to try to pay special attention to any sort of dwarven mechanism that might, or arcane mechanism that might be integrated into this, just to protect the bank. I don't know. The problem is I've not grown up in a dwarven city, so anything I would know might be hearsay or just from tales at best.
That's fair. Roll an Arcana check with advantage for me.
With advantage.
Yes. 21. Like you say, you're not, having not been brought up in Karasgard, you're kind of a foreign dwarf, despite sort of descending from sort of, you're sort of, your family, your parents, your grandparents were from Karasgard, but you were born elsewhere. Like, and you were brought up on stories and tales of sort of dwarven, not trickery, but mastery of stonework and rune craft and that sort of thing. There's definitely a sense of the uncanny about this place, that even with your baseline knowledge, you kind of figure that it seems intended to protect. But also you managed to walk in unbothered, unmolested, without a problem.
Mm-hmm. It might be just racist against non-dwarves.
That does have precedent. Karasgard is distinctly xenophobic. Is that the right word? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right then. I said it and then doubted myself.
Well, doesn't appear to be anything else here.
Well, can we just have we walked through the? We haven't walked through the bank yet, have we?
No. You've literally
Yeah.
Trying to do,
you've walked through the threshold and out again.
Well, Vic, you stay here. I'll walk back in.
Sköld and Ruken, you don't exist anymore.
No.
Well, you can decide for yourself, but I don't want Vic to come.
that it might be a problem for me and Ruken.
Stay out here as the only dwarf around you two, just in case some other automaton or something comes out and causes problems.
Maybe, but Bryn might be stuck. I don't know.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Brynny, are you entering the tower? Entering the bank?
Yeah.
Okay. As you step over the threshold again, kind of instinctively bracing yourself in case anything happens, your sort of ongoing passive inquiry into the uncanny nature of this room especially eventually reveals that as you're walking in, it's a lot bigger than it looks, and it extends sort of very far in. You've walked maybe 50 feet into this room, still made of wood, still completely wooden, sort of dark mahogany. But there are more than just the one door to the right. There are dozens. Just every few feet, there's another door. On the left, there is a desk for every door. And the door that you could see ahead of you that was behind the desk originally is just continuously the same distance away from where you could see it from the door that you entered through.
Okay. I would go up to the very first desk that I see and just see if there's anything on it, in it. Is it locked? Is it, is there a key for anything? That sort of thing.
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Yeah, no.
With your natural one, the desk seems fairly uninteresting. It's, again, mahogany, and the drawers open, slide absolutely smooth as silk. There are paperwork sort of piled inside, but it's uninteresting. It's not very revealing. And there are name plinths on each desk, sort of denoting who is assigned to work on each. But other than that, nothing important.
Okay. I'll walk to the first door and try and opening it.
Okay. The first door that you sort of decide to walk up to, it has... There's a door handle in the middle of this door made of brass, same as every single other one. They're all made but virtually identically. And as you sort of twiddle the handle, turn it to the left, the door swings open, and you are met with a room that is too big for the space allotted between the doors. It's 20 feet square, and there is, on the left of the room, there is It looks almost like a blackboard, but sort of on it seems to be engraved all forms of different language that you can't quite make out. And ahead of you, directly opposite the door you've walked through, is a sort of... It's... Roll an intelligence check for me, please. Nice. 19. This door ahead of you, it looks like running water, basically, that is running from left to right. Almost like you're looking into an aquarium. But all you can see through the water is a metal grate or metal plate that has a sort of an engraving on it that's kind of distorted by the running water. But the metal plate is about 5 feet beyond it, it looks like. Similar proportions. Similarly proportioned.
You said it has an engraving on it?
Yes.
I get closer and see if I can read or see what it says.
As you get right up close to the sort of running water ahead of you, the first thing you realize is that you're being splashed with water. Like there are little water droplets just spewing out at you. And then focusing through the water, you can see that the engraving on the plate is written in Dwarvish, and it's a family name that you don't recognize. And it's sort of written in a semicircle arc, and underneath would what you assume is what you would presume to be the family crest.
Okay, so these are probably vaults then, or like bank deposit boxes, vaults, something like that.
Looks like it.
For certain families or rich people. Okay. What did you say? How many doors were there around when I walked back out?
Dozens.
In this, dozens. No point. Okay. No point looking into each of them without really knowing what we're looking for, if we're even looking for something. I have nothing to see if there's anyone around. Is the interior of the bank well kept? Does it look like anyone has ransacked it, or so as minions have tried to get it, or tried or successfully got into the vaults?
Doesn't look like it. The place looks pristine. There is no dust to be found anywhere. There are no sort of signs of entry, forced or otherwise, in any of the doors, and there are no sort of corpses or signs of a fight.
Okay. I'm messaging Gold. So I'm walking back out of this room, and I'm messaging Sköld. And I ask him, well, first of all, I tell him what I saw, and then second of all, I would ask him, Gold, do you know anything about protection of banks against magic? What if I would cast a spell that would damage the interior of this bank? Would it kill me? If you don't know, ask your Saglet.
The silence indicates a muting.
He's talking to his circlet, clearly.
Sköld?
It's gone for a gamble P or not.
I know, yeah.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
That's it. He's run
Okay.
back. He's like, oh shit, they're talking to me.
Bryn is messaging. Bryn is messaging you, asking whether you know anything about protection of dwarven banks against magic, and if you know what would happen to me if I cast a spell that would damage the interior of this bank. And if you don't know, please ask your circlet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. I would assume bad things, considering the security measures in place getting into the bank. But yeah, I'll ask the circlet.
Okay. Roll a
And
bit.
also, before you do so, I would send another message and would ask, would you or your circlet know if there's some sort of panic room in this bank where someone who is the, I don't know, head of the bank or whatever, the person to keep everything safe would be able to hide out?
Okay. Yeah, I would assume it would have been a big hammer rather than a panic room, but yes, I'll ask that as well.
Okay.
Wisdom.
No, wisdom check, please.
Checks.
Is he wise?
He's wise. As like you kind of convey your thoughts to your circlet, and again you get that kind of delayed response, almost like it's processing its answer, and the reply comes: the Bank of Karasgard has many defenses, some that have been kept secret, others that are more well known. If you were to deface the interior of the bank, then you would probably face retribution from staff if there were any. Most of the deterrents are based inside inside the realm the vaults are kept.
Do you know if there's a safe room of some description where, or panic room, if you will, that those would go into in case of an attack?
Again, there's a delay while it processes. The procedures for a citywide attack or even an attack on the bank itself does state that there must always be at least one member of staff within the bank at all times. Thus, it would be wise to infer that yes, there would be some form of panic room or safe room in which they could stay.
Okay. Right. I suppose I'll relay this back to Bryn through some method that I'm currently unsure of.
All right. Wait, do you have sending? Do you have message?
I don't.
You don't have either? Well, I would send you another message. You are able to reply to that one.
I've got sending.
Okay, well, yeah, just waste it.
Wasted. Okay, I'll send that to you.
She says that so judgmentally, and it's like, you chose not to be part of the telepathic bond, you know?
But just
I know.
walk, talk.
I know. All right. I will cast. So in this sort of corridor place where I am with all the vaults next to me, I will cast Shatter in the middle of it.
Okay.
On the floor, though. On the floor.
Okay. You cast your spell into the ground, and the entire room that you're currently in, like the sort of corridor that you're in, the floor just cracks and breaks in front of you, and the ceiling starts falling downwards as the wooden planks that were so pristine moments ago just start cracking, breaking, and falling inwards. And above it, you just see the stone that was, sort of built above it, also cracking and breaking and falling in. And you now have a sphere of just everywhere that was affected is now just cracked, broken, and ruined.
Can I hear anyone coming to the bank's defense? Can I see anyone coming to the bank's defense?
Not necessarily.
Where the floor has been cracked and broken, is it just the floor, or is it? Can I see a hole?
No, there's a few inches of mahogany plank that have been sort of made that have been placed on the ground and created the wooden floor effect, and then underneath is again just stone that kind of digs deeper inwards. So you've created a gouge, but nothing underneath it.
Well, this is useless. One last Hail Mary. Can I see, or could I figure out? I have nothing that could help me spell-wise. Is there anything? Oh my god. Is there anything that can help me? No, sorry. Can I see a path, particularly vault door or something that could indicate it's a panic room, or where a staff member might reside? I mean, I would assume not, because they don't want to make themselves obvious, and if I can figure that out, then other people can as well. But just as a Hail Mary, and if not, I'm walking back outside.
I mean, the only other door in the corridor is the one that's ahead of you that you haven't managed to get close to yet. All of the others are identical looking to the one you've walked through. But knowing the kind of illusion magic that this effect would be caused by, it's going to end eventually.
I'll walk up to that door and see what's what.
Okay. You're walking for a while. And you just walk past hundreds of doors. Hundreds. And each again with a desk opposite that essentially, it's almost like somebody has taken each thing, Control-C, Control-V, just pasted them in. 20 minutes of walking at a decent pace. Finally, the door at the end of the corridor opens. Or it starts getting closer. Aqua,
Yes.
what have you been doing?
Well, I'd been expecting the room, looking at the keys. Normally I would have just took them, because obviously keys to loot, but that's not me anymore. So I'm just looking at them. Yeah, looking to see if there's anything interesting at first, and then after that I would try the door.
Okay. looking through the keys, you can see that they're all essentially the same in design. They are 3 inches long with the kind of barrel of it that descends into a unique combination at the end, and then the bit you would hold to turn is sort of a circle, an inch in circumference, that has writing on it that you can't read because you can't read. Symbols on it. Roll an investigation check for me. Okay. You move over to the desk that's sort of situated next to the door, and looking through it, the drawers made of stone. They're very hard to pull out. They grind, and it's a horrible sound as they mill against each other. And they open, and inside are just stacks of paperwork. And there's nothing of interest inside these drawers. However, while you're kind of knelt down looking through the bottom one, you see underneath the desk, in where the legs would go of the dwarf who is manning the desk, there's a little switch. And as you kind of look at it, it seems enticing. Sort of it just makes you want to flick it.
Yeah, I would flick it.
Okay. As you flick that switch, the desk starts to sort of rumble a little bit, and it sort of lifts. And it's not just the desk, it's like 10 feet circle around you, around the desk, starts lifting out of the ground and then just sort of sliding backwards. And where the desk and the sort of ground used to be, there is a sort of slab similar to what you saw underwater, but doesn't have anything special on it. It's just plain metal with a kind of like a valve twisty thing on it.
Okay. I assume this is where I must deposit something. I'll try and open it.
All right. You turn the valve and it creaks a little bit, and then comes very loose, starts spinning, and the metal slab just kind of up. It comes loose, almost like you've just loosened it, and it's like a lid that you've opened.
And what do I see inside?
You opening it properly?
Yep.
All right. As you open the lid fully, you sort of, there's a moment of just black as you look inside, and then suddenly this light appears and shoots out towards you, and you react impeccably, just kind of dodging your head ever so slightly to the left, and this ray of light just shoots past you, illuminating beneath you this sort of very haggard, rough, kind of dirty looking dwarf in what you would assume to be used to be really nice fancy robes, and he's looking very panicked all of a sudden. Don't
Really? I
you
found another one.
don't you come any closer, I'm warning you. You can see, like, you can hear the quivering voice of, like, rage but also panic.
Okay. I've done this once before. I can do this again. Sir, what is your name? I am here to save you.
How can you be here to save me if you don't even know my name?
Because I'm not a dwarf.
That doesn't make sense. And fires another bolt out at you. Does 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Oops. You take 12 points of force damage as this beam slams into your chest and just pushes you back and kind of flattens you on your back on the ground. And then you hear a scurrying sound. And then
Ow.
you hear footsteps from somewhere to your left. Some, like, where the desk used to be and possibly behind the door. Bryn, as you approach the door, you hear a sort of thudding sound and, like, someone go oof through the door.
Hello? I've
Hello.
thrown all caution into the wind. I just want to get out of here.
Ren, is that you?
Oh, Aqua? Wait, are you real?
I'm real, and I'm dealing with a very stubborn dwarf. So a normal day for me.
Is there a door between us?
Yes.
Okay, I'll open the door.
Okay. It's a bit tough to open, but it does sort of swing outwards to you. And you can see a 10-foot hole, circular hole in the ground. A desk on a foot of stone that's sort of hovering slightly above the ground. And then Aqua just splayed out on his back.
Okay. What are you doing? There's no time for sleep.
I'm not sleeping. I've just been hit in the face by light.
Right.
But I found the guy that might own the bank. At least that's the way he's acting.
Master Dwarf? Hello? I'm also a dwarf. We're here to help.
You
I broke something upstairs.
are intruders. You will be stopped.
We are intruders indeed. However, there's a more pressing issue of a dragon that is in this city, and we want to try and take care of it. Hi. I would appreciate if you don't hit my friend or me. You can stay here if you want to, but I'm offering help, and I'll try and drop down the hole.
Okay. Are you climbing down or just sort of jumping down?
No, just falling down.
Okay. You jump down and there's a moment of, oh, this was probably a bad idea. You descend into darkness and you just keep falling. And you fall about 60 feet. And realizing that it's actually a bit further than you thought, you cast a feather fall. It's no problem. You land, easy peasy. And you've actually sort of, you land and there's dim light sort of scattered around, so that it makes it somewhat easier to see even with dark vision. And you see similar sigils sort of in small plaques on the wall, like little badges almost, that have been pinned up on the wall. And they seem to be roll a perception check for me.
Yep.
Yes. With your 427,000, you see that these little badges appear to be attached to what look like buttons. And there's, on the other side of the room, that's to the right as you look, and then to the left, there's just seemingly infinite, it's not infinite, but there's lots of boxes that just seem to have supplies and food and things that you would require to live. And
I was right. There was a panic room.
the dwarf that fired off the bolt of light towards Aqua is now sort of not cowering, but kind of stood in the corner near sort of one of the corners with all the buttons, and is kind of holding out his hands, ready for anything.
First of all, I'll help Aqua up.
Okay. Aqua wasn't down there. Aqua was up at the top.
Oh, he was up at the top. Okay. Well,
He's an adult. He can get up by himself. It's fine.
okay. I'll go up to the dwarf and I'll cast friends on him. You cannot maintain concentration. Well, Vic, you stop flying.
It's been longer than 10 minutes anyway.
Okay. I'll cast friends on him. Hi, sorry, we don't mean any harm. We honestly are trying to find any help we can get to fight Asoa. And we want to, restore the bank to its former glory. Is there anything you can do to help us?
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion is charisma, isn't it? Do I get to roll with advantage? Yeah, no, it's
That's literally what the spell is.
okay. It's charisma.
23. The demeanor of the dwarf softens slightly. You want to defeat Asoa?
Yes.
And you need my help to do it?
Yes.
There are millions of things in the vaults, some forgotten, some powerful, some mundane, some valuable, some just sentimental. Is there anything particular you want?
Asoa, what's your name? I'm Brynja Silverkind. I'm not from Karisgard, but my parents are. So it's an honor to be here. And it's a shame to see what the city has become since the dragon has invaded.
It is a shame. That's true. I would like to help you, Brynja Silverkind, but I personally do not know what is within the vaults. I only grant access.
Well, first of all, I have a friend outside who's not a dwarf. He's a very tall, large guy, and he almost got crushed by your walls. Is there any way that you could disable temporarily any sort of warding spells or magical effects to grant them access to get inside, so we can maybe have a look through. We don't have time to look through all the vaults, obviously, but have a look maybe through the vaults of anyone. Maybe there's a vault related to the Valkyries. Maybe the families of the Valkyries had a vault here, and we can have a look whether they have any sort of weapon or magical item or something that could help us in the fight against the dragon.
The Bank of Karisgard is for dwarves, therefore dwarves only can enter.
I understand that, and I point back to Aqua. He is here. He's not dead yet. And these are trying times. These are extraordinary times. And we need
He is an exception that the Guardian has allowed. Thus, he will be expelled if he does not leave willingly.
He will leave willingly. We all will leave willingly, but I need you to grant access to my friend.
3 vaults known to me that contain items from Valkyries.
Okay. Is there any way that we can access these vaults?
Off cough.
Potentially. Name. Who are you to the Valkyries?
I'm a friend of Ambrin's. I don't know the rest of them. However, my friends here know them.
Can I hear this conversation while up top? Is it?
Yeah.
I shout down. I'm her apprentice. She has given me some, I guess, divine magic to talk to my fellow friends.
Would you guys have told me about the time you were in the bodies of the Valkyrie while fighting Asura?
No.
Imagine it would have come up probably. A campfire or something.
I mean, I did try and convince you to get the earpiece done before we got it done.
Well, yeah, I know about Ambrin, obviously, and I probably know about the Valkyries in general, but do I know about you guys actually having some sort of mental connection with them?
Let's say it come up as like a one-shot somewhere. Spin-off.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Okay. Then he still hasn't told me his name. It doesn't matter. Then I'll tell him my friends here, well, him and the other 2 outside, one of which was a dwarf though. They have seen the original fight against the Red Dragon in the Flames Dwelling, and they've seen her disappear. They've seen her fight. They've fought her in some sort of alternate reality. I don't know, but they know and they have been there. I haven't, but these people have, which is why I need you to grant them access to these vaults, so they can take up the mantle, take up the fight and continue where they've left off.
The rules of the bank are ironclad. Your dwarven friend may enter.
What about my other friend? Why can't he enter?
You have made clear that he is not dwarven.
He's not. But he's more than probably the rest of us willing to fight a Soa. He's the most capable of all of us.
He may not be dwarven, but he is more than. Hey.
I need you to grant him permission.
If you wish to enter the Valkyrie's vaults, you must demonstrate knowledge of some Valkyries. My hands are tied otherwise.
Well, can you let him in so he can tell you about them?
Your dwarven friend may enter.
Aqua, can you tell him about the Valkyries?
I can. How big's the drop?
60 feet?
Well, I would have told him. Not that much. It's fine.
Okay.
Then you think
Okay.
it's like 10 feet.
No, I'm getting my card ready.
I can. It's fine. I can drop you.
It's
Don't
alright,
worry.
I got this.
Drop.
You've used your card.
I've only used one.
Yeah, but you've used the card you're about to use already.
No, I ain't.
So you used it originally.
No, I was going to use Featherfall.
That's the one you used for...
Did I?
Yeah, because you
Oh, you
jumped,
did
jumped
last
over the
session.
wall.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. But it's fine. Just drop. Just drop. Just drop.
Just drop.
That sounds
Trust
very
me.
trustworthy. Yeah, 100%. Do it, Josh. What could possibly go wrong? It's
Don't.
Yathina. She's so trustworthy.
Yeah, I might as well. I'm not even standing up. I'm kind of just rolling into the hole.
You fall. You land. It's fine. It's not very eventful. Featherfall's boring. Ugh.
Oh, right.
Only because you can't kill me again.
You don't
Lessons
don't
learned.
challenge me, Yathina. I have ways.
I kind of look at that dwarf and just ask him, "You're not going to shoot me again, are you?"
You are not a dwarf, therefore you are not welcome.
Yes, I know. But as you've said, the Guardian, by the way, terrifying pet. Don't know how you guys managed to get one. Said I'm okay as long as I become an account holder and deposit something, which I am willing to do.
The Guardian is designed to clean up and finish off intruders. If
Take
you...
out the trash.
Yes, exactly.
And yet I'm here standing in front of you, so either Guardian's getting gold or I'm a special case.
Oh, you're a special case, alright?
Wow. Wow, Yathina. Wow.
Oy.
The dwarf looks Aqua up and down. You are a water genasi, yes?
That is my home. Yes.
Native of the water plane, therefore you are uniquely able to counteract the first defense of the vault.
What are you on about? The first defense was fire.
Well, yes.
The second defense.
Very well. The second defense of
I'm
the
pretty
vault.
sure the second defense was to fall in the water, and if I was wearing heavy armor, I would have sank, but I wasn't. So
Even if you sank, you could still breathe in the water, so it wouldn't have been a problem.
that's true. So technically, your whole defense system doesn't work for my race.
Fundamentally flawed.
We're getting completely off topic anyway.
Gold is just in your brain talking to you.
You are naturally equipped with a defense mechanism against that particular defense mechanism. Therefore,
wouldn't know?
you circumvented the Guardian's programming.
Of the galaxy. Well, he brought me to your room as I asked him what I needed to do to leave peacefully. So, if your guardian trusts me, and considering my people grew up terrified of that beast, I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize me leaving. So, you have my full trust that all we need is what my friend Bryn here has told you, and we'll be on our way.
All you need to enter the Vault of the Valkyries is to prove that you know some of the Valkyries.
Okay.
I am
let's-
bound by the rules.
Damn it! Why is my memory as bad as my reading?
Meanwhile, I'm just outside playing cards with Rutkin.
Yeah, you're just you
Vic.
and Vic, Vic and Rukin are just out there like, oof, they're taking a while.
I get back onto my walkie-talkie. I'm like, Vic, Sköld. I found the owner. He's a dick, but he wants proof that we actually know the Valkyries. I need information on them fast, because I've been through a lot. I don't remember much.
Oh, we fought Ysoa back as the Valkyries when we were magically
Yeah.
transplanted into their body.
Bryn tried that story. He didn't take it.
Wait, you didn't talk about the. Okay. How about the fact that Ambrin, you know where she lives and everything like that, and who she looks like and everything, and all that good stuff, and she's still technically alive.
Yeah, actually, wasn't she in our circle with us?
Bit
I'm
of
gonna
communicate.
walkie-talkie to Ambrin.
That might be a better option.
Ambrin, you there?
She did.
I have been mildly amused by your conversation, yes.
Wait, you can hear this? I thought these were one-way chats.
No. This is open to all.
Oh,
I've just been casting it out to about like 200 people. It's a live stream.
No private thoughts anymore.
Well, is there any way or any information that you could give us to help us get past this dwarf?
Yes. But it was quite amusing listening to you struggle. Myself and my family do not have a vault in the bank, but two of my companions do. Feyre and Carinya both had vaults in the bank with some very valuable items within it. There was...
Feyre.
You were Feyre?
I think so.
I believe so, yeah.
Sorry. I'm trying to remember the names.
Anyway, moving on.
The third.
Sköld is enjoying himself too much playing cards.
He's just having a great time. He's here for a good time, not a long time.
It's just the world is falling to pieces, and I'm just like jigging.
His plan against Vic is probably winning, so it's probably in a good.
Yeah, exactly. The third Valkyrie that I know of that has a vault, her name was Astrid. That should grant you access to those vaults and whatever lies within.
Thank you for the help, and yeah, thanks for the information that everyone can hear me.
Welcome, I say.
Only when you are projecting your thoughts to others. Not all the time, thankfully.
Inside check.
Roll an insight check that you can't
I'm
hear.
not part of this. I'm not part of this conversation.
I was gonna say,
We're just randomly doing it. Just,
I'm not inciting that. Bryn can incite herself if she wants. Okay, I'll. Right, I've actually just spoken to Ambrin, who is at the moment resting.
That sounds like one of those phony, like, witness statements. I have just spoken to the ghost of the deceased.
My father is part of Microsoft.
And
they say I'm innocent, so there you go.
That's literally where my brain went as well. It was just such an unsincere thing to way to say it.
Well, he has blasted me in the face a couple of times, so. And she has told me that Vayan, Karen, and Astrid have vaults here, and that should be enough to grant us access to them.
Who did you say?
Freya, Crayon, and Astrid.
Crayon.
Astrid, Feyre,
I think it was
and
Freya?
Was it Freya?
No, there's Freya, and then there's something of a.
Freya, Astrid, and Kreia.
You are
Right.
developing the Mandela effect between yourselves, just through saying the names. It's Feyre, Karina, and
Karina,
Astrid.
there we go.
Karina.
Just told you.
I love how you've gone from Feyre to Freya,
To
and
be
then
fair, Freya is not such a big leap because it's such a Nordic name.
It's because I've tried to write it down, and that's how I've spelled it.
I know I was perfectly willing to accept that, but then Rob, the bully, starts laughing.
Crayon.
Very well. You are granted access to those 3 vaults, but only those 3 vaults.
Yeah, sure. That's a deal.
You,
That's fine. Can our friend come?
pointing towards Aqua, are not
Access.
allowed access.
Oh,
Only dwarves
So-
may enter vaults.
Can I stand outside then and wait?
You must leave the bank immediately.
How do I do that? I don't know how to get out.
Well, you could probably use the ladder.
There was a ladder this whole time, Bryn.
I didn't know there was a ladder. I jumped
You didn't ask. You were just like, I'm going to jump down the hole.
because I thought it was only 10 feet.
You didn't. You were just like, I'm just going to go down the hole. And then I was like, okay, well, I won't tell you about the ladder then, because it'll be quite funny.
But I fell off also. It wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't funny. It's boring.
No, I'm just gonna marvel at the security system here. We got all these like traps in place and everything like that, but just to circumnavigate it, you just have to know the name of the person. I could say, and you said there's like millions of boxes here. I could say, oh, John Smith. John Smith, my favorite pal, you know. And then You just get access to someone's vault.
You get the impression that the bank teller is being very lenient,
Given the circumstances.
given the circumstances.
Oh, that's very kind of him.
This isn't, oh yeah, my mate Bill, he said I could come and empty his vault. He needs it all at home. Nah.
It's all in my pocket.
Yeah.
Wait, thinking about that in a weird way, if Sköld talked to his circlet and gave us the name of the hero dwarf that circlet was before Sköld, would he have a vault here?
On his name, to be honest with you, but it's written down somewhere.
I mean, you could just ask your circlet.
I feel like
But
it's a
does the
bit
circlet
awkward.
remember? That's the question.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. I mean, I've been traveling with him for the past like 3 years, and now I'm saying, "Oh, what's your name again?" Come on.
Well, if you don't remember, it's a shame, isn't it?
Thorvald, was it?
Oh.
Thorvald Fireheart?
Ooh, that sounds familiar.
Go on, Rob. Find your notes.
God, that would be going back like now over a year.
Episode 41, I think. Maybe, if you write down numbers.
See, I write them in weeks, not.
Where did you even find the circlet? Was it in the hive? No.
Yeah, it was in the hive.
Yeah.
It was in the
Yeah.
hive, okay.
I think Nell was still alive when you found it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait.
If it was in the hive, she was alive. Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't it like Sköld?
I don't remember. And rather
You
stupidly,
don't remember? I meant to remember.
I have literally everything to remember.
Exactly.
And stupidly, I didn't write it in the bloody item description.
Well, I've got the circlet noted down here as Sköld.
Yeah, but is that just you misspelling circlet?
Potentially.
I was looking through all my notes, wondering why I can't find my old notes. It's because they're on my phone, not in my book.
I think the name Furious mentioned was the
Hero.
the guy that you
Talked to about the circle. It was like a ghost.
He finds a grave of Thorvald Fireheart.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hmm.
It's in
Okay.
the mausoleum underneath. Because when we came back out of that, wasn't that when there was the mimic?
Yeah.
Because then we went.
'Cause you-
found the thing, went down there, pristine mausoleum. That's where you found it.
Wasn't that also when you found the like skeletons of the dragons or something?
Yeah.
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 That
yeah.
was after that.
Yeah, because we fought a skeleton monster that gave Nal a skull that did necrotic damage, that then ends up also being the time where she got knocked out by a unicorn.
Yeah, we got it up. We had to fight a beholder kind of thing, I think.
Yeah, and a bunch of cobalt.
Yeah, but this was, we went down, I think we found it, and there was like a casket, and you moved it, it was a way down into pristine mausoleum. Where we had to look around, and there was a few different, lots of Fireheart people. Around Fireheart, Thorvald, I think Thorvald's the one though. But I guess any Fireheart might be alright, you know, if they got a vault, we'll take it.
As I'm about to climb up the ladder, I just turn around and go, "Oh yeah, is there a vault that we could have access to by the name of Ford Fireheart?"
That is a very ancient name you are asking after.
It's just one that suddenly my friend had managed to secure a relic of his, and if
Does he wish to deposit this relic in the vaults?
No, we're seeing if he has anything more that can improve the relic, because the relic has now chosen my friend as its new owner.
Gadgets, if you will.
Well, let's just say my friend has been deemed worthy by the old owner. You know how magic can get a bit weird.
Interesting. Very well. You have access to 4 vaults. Brynja, Silverkind.
Cool.
Cool.
You should swap places with Sköld then, maybe, Aqua.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll go up the ladder, head, I guess, forward? Out?
I would explain to you how to get from here back out. So you just go up through the door, then down that corridor with hundreds of doors, and then into that small room from which you disappeared, and then outside.
Okay, cool. And then I just start heading that way then.
Okay. What she didn't tell you is that it's a really trippy corridor. You can see the door on the other side with your friend stood outside it, but it takes you about 25 minutes to walk it. And
Wow.
it's very frustrating. You get there eventually. But yeah,
Or like simulator.
it's a long ass journey.
I'm not going to step over the bit that I fell in. I'm going to be wary of that. I'm just going to kind of stop beforehand and shout Vic and Sköld over.
What's up?
Well, we found the owner. He's not very nice. And he has given us... I say us. Only dwarves are allowed in the vault. And he's given Bryn and you, Sköld, access to the vaults of the names of the Valkyries we've gave him and the name of the hero that wore your circlet before you. And he said you can have a look in the vaults and I guess claim what's in them. So if you want to go in, Sköld, and I take watch with Vic out here.
Okay, sure. Sounds
Yeah.
reasonable. We swap places.
Right.
Oh, I'll let you go past me first before I attempt to walk over this death trap again.
Vic, finally you are free of Sköld. He can no longer beat you. You've gained Aqua, who I feel is also undefeated against you.
I've
No.
won once.
I was going to say there's one victory. There was one victory.
I'd cling to that.
Yeah. Sköld, as you enter the corridor made of wood, you see the big crater that Now's on the brain. Bryn created. And Bryn, are you leaving and entering the corridor as well?
Yeah, I would. Well, no. Yes. So before I do so, though, I would ask him first how we know which vault to enter, or if the doors are automatically open or something.
You will know.
Okay. In that case, I thank him and then I climb up the ladder as well.
Okay. As you climb up the ladder and enter the corridor back to with all the doors that are now on your left, you can see stretching down this corridor, there are 4 doors open that were closed previously. Sköld, you also see on your right, you see Bryn appear ahead of you, and those same 4 doors open.
Shall we? You take 2, I take 2.
Yeah, probably makes sense.
Cool.
All right.
Bryn, the first one you come to is a fair way down the corridor. All of these are quite close to the first entrance, or closer to the first entrance. So you've got to travel a little bit to get to it. But as you enter, you see that the room inside is exactly the same as the first room you entered, 20-foot square, with markings on this blackboard-esque thing that you can't quite make out. And then through the sort of aquarium-like flowing water, there's a steel plate, a metal plate that is now hanging open. And inside you can see, it's almost like looking through a waterfall. You can see that there's something there, but you can't make out what it is.
I walk closer and try and take the item or take the things out. I'm sorry, I'm not quite visualizing how it looks like, so I just walk closer to see what's happening.
Inside, as you get closer, you can see through the sort of flowing water that the plate has opened into an actual vault.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't make out what's inside.
Because the flowing water is still in front of it?
Yes.
Can I reach through it and take out whatever is inside?
No, because it's a big room inside it.
Oh, okay. Then I walk through the water.
Mm-hmm. You walk through the water and you feel yourself teleported to somewhere else. And there's a moment of sort of disorientation, an inability to breathe, and then solid ground again. And as your feet touch solid ground, you are now in a vault that is made of pure gold. Very ornate. The gold is made sort of carved into bricks that are a foot tall and 3 foot long, and just piled either side is just thousands of gold coins, just innumerable. Like, it would take months to count it all. And ahead of you there is a box that is made of a metal that you don't quite recognize, potentially an alloy of some form that you're not aware of. It's not too big, it's fairly small, really, maybe the size of a shoebox, and it's resting on top of a plinth that stands above all of the gold coins.
Is that the only thing that catches my attention in this room?
Aside from all the gold, yes.
Then I'll take the box. And I don't carry it outside. I'll open it immediately, because if it's nothing worth our time, I'll just leave it behind.
Okay. Okie dokie. You walk over to the box, open it, and inside there are 2 rings. One, I think, looks quite familiar. Nope. One is made of silver and is like silver weaved in amongst each other itself, but in a way that kind of, it's so well shined that you could actually, it gives off the impression that it's see-through. It's very interesting. And then another one that's made of bronze with a sort of a silver plate on top of it that is in the shape of a shield. There's also a horn that is made from a material you don't recognize. At the sort of end you'd blow through has like gold banding around it that has sort of a red tint to it. And then at the other end, it's carved into the shape of a dragon head that has its mouth open and a horn, two horns that file backwards. And the two rings are placed at either end of this horn.
Okay. I'll take everything. Well, I'll take the whole box and carry it with me.
Okay. Sköld.
Yes.
The first vault you enter, or the first room you enter, is a 20 by 20 square room. On the left of the room is a sort of blackboard like thing with make a wisdom check for me.
Wisdom. Check advantage. Oh yeah, the best.
15. 14, sorry. You recognize the name written on that board as the name of the creator of your circlet.
Old Arturin. I think.
Who?
I think his name's Arturin.
Is it? Don't think so. I don't remember. However, that's the name you see.
Okay.
And you see ahead of you a sort of a watery circle with water flowing from left to right, and beyond that there's a sort of a metal plate that is just open outwards, and you can see beyond sort of a very distorted vault like thing.
Okay. Follow the water. Where does it go?
Okay. As you look, so as you sort of go to the water and step through, you enter a vault. A very simple looking vault. It looks more like like a stone alcove. Not even carved or particularly ornate in design. It is purely just a stone alcove with a tiny box on the floor in the middle of the room.
Do I see what is in the box?
Inside the box, it's a very simplistic looking box made of iron, and it's quite hard to open. Takes quite a lot of jiggery pokery. Eventually the lid slides off from top to bottom, and inside there is what looks to be slabs of like difficult to make out what it's actually made of. They're just sort of like thin, sort of 2 millimeter thick slabs piled on top of each other. There's about 20 of them.
Okay. Can't do any like insight or anything like that to potentially glean some.
Are you taking the slabs out of the box?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Can I inspect them? With insight.
You don't need to. As you pick one of them out, you sort of pick them up. The back is blank. They're just sort of like a white material. And then on the other side, there's just a picture. The picture of this one is the sun, just shining in the sky.
Okay. Go through all of them.
There's varying pictures. Roll another wisdom. Actually, roll a wisdom saving throw for me. You feel a very unsettled feeling coming from your circlet. But you managed to sort of fight it off. As you're looking through the cards, some of them have images on them. Others are just sort of they I suppose you would classify them as images, but they're not sort of making any sense to you. They're just a bit sort of abstract. But each of them are beautifully made, seem very solid. They don't bend at all, and the artwork on them is pristine. You don't pick up any kind of. There's nothing about them that screams like dwarven made. They're just like, they seem a bit of a mystery to you.
I ask the circlet as to potentially their origin.
This is a dangerous game you are playing, Sköld. You take this box, you could come with great gains, but also great loss.
Some sort of fortune telling cards upon which they come true.
Almost, yes. They are dangerous.
Okay.
And I would suggest avoid it, but I cannot control you.
Some things, I suppose, are best left behind. I wouldn't want these to fall into the wrong hands. They are so dangerous. I think I'm going to leave them behind.
A sense of relief emanates from the circlet.
Okay, I'll leave the vault then.
Okay. You leave the vault, re-emerging from the flowing water that sort of feels like you're suffocating for a moment. You step back into the first hall that you entered, and the vault door beyond the water closes back. Bryn, the second door inside, again, same thing you had previously.
Same thing. I'll walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put the first box that I had in the corridor just in front of the door, so I don't have to carry it around with me. And then I walk into the second one, and through the water, I assume, if it's the same mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. This time, this room is also full of gold, just piles of it. And instead of a box this time, there are two things you see, each on their own plinths. This room isn't made of gold. It's more modestly created, but it's still full, like just so much gold. There is a plinth holding another horn. This time seems to be just more a simple, ivory horn with sort of string wrapped around one of the ends. And then an amulet, like a gold chain with a gold pendant that sort of, when inspected, kind of gives you a sort of a warm feeling, but is also intricately detailed. It looks, from your sort of limited experience, looks potentially elven made. Like it's definitely not dwarven, and it's kind of got that pomposity that comes with elves.
Mm-hmm. I'll take it and then I'll leave the room again. I don't want to. We're running out of time. I don't want to spend more time than necessary in here.
Mm-hmm. Sköld.
I'll think that Sköld can later identify it. So I'll just take it. Hope that it's something worth our time and to sleep.
All right. Sköld. As you enter your second vault, you are greeted with so much gold. Just, again, same as Bryn, like just piles upon piles upon piles of gold. And it is like obnoxious how much money there's in this vault. What you also see is on a ledge at the back of the vault, there is a book that is made of leather and then has like gold engravings all over the front. The book itself is very thick. It's stop doing that, screen. Is really thick. That's the wrong thing. Oh, I moved it, that's why. And it's encrusted with quite a few gems, and there's a clasp closing it that kind of spread out to look like wings across the front and back.
See what it says on it? Is there any description as to what it contains?
No. There is no name or author printed on it. It is you can feel a sense of some kind of divine, I don't want to say there's no divine presence, but there's definitely a divinity to it. you yourself aren't aware of what it could potentially be. You've never experienced this before.
Well, I'll wait until we're in a bit of a safer, well, not much safer place than the bank, but back with everybody else before opening it and such.
Also, resting sort of upside down is a horn made of it looks like it's again wrapped in leather, but it's made of iron, and it's got a weird curve to it. So it sort of curves down and then upwards, and it's probably about 3 feet long if it was to be stretched out, and picking it up, it's quite heavy.
I know what this is used for.
You could roll an intelligence check if you want to. With this being a vault of the Valkyries, you heard stories of the Valkyries having horns that could summon their own protectors, almost, or sort of underlings that would come in and sort of back them up in a fight. This fits the description of one of those.
Okay, that could come in handy. I'll take it.
Cool. All right. As the two of you finish emptying your vaults and return outside, anything you want to do before you leave?
Not really.
Okay. Let's put it all together. Cool. Hello. There we go. Right. You should be able to access your hall.
Horn. Is that my horn or
Double click it.
too far away from the horn?
Get closer to the horn.
Okay. I got it.
I will take this.
Got exalted deeds.
Did you take 2 horns or one? Did you take 1 horn?
I took 1 horn.
The 2 horns left are yours, Yathina.
I didn't take. only took 1.
There's 2
I
horns.
I know. I only took the amulet from the second vault. I didn't take the horn.
Okay. Well, then the horn stays. There's still that the top horn is the one you would have taken.
I can't take the ring of protection.
Did Sköld take the ring?
Did I take it?
No, it's still on the list.
No, it's not. You took the ring of protection.
Okay,
The only
weird.
thing I've seen in there from clicking on it is the Horn of Valor.
Okay, weird. For me, it still says the ring of protection is still on there. But okay.
Okay. So, Sköld has the Book of Exalted Deeds and the Horn of Valhalla Iron. Bryn should have Amulet of Health, Ring of Protection, Ring of Invisibility.
Yep.
And the Draken Horn.
Yep.
Cool. Alright. Say goodbye. Alright. The two of you reconvene with your 3 fellows outside the bank. And that would have taken you maybe about an hour and a half, so we're 5 hours into the night. You have 3 hours remaining before daytime. And then any time you wish to push in after that.
We're not far from these ones. We might as well go next door to the manor.
These ones. Yeah, yeah, sure.
I'm
Lodge
happy
and manor.
to do that. I would like at some point if we could try and do the Wizard's Tower, but as it's on the way, well, let's do the manor.
We might have time for the last three, based on a current trajectory.
As you approach the manor, it's in pretty poor condition. It's surrounded by a metal fence, not like a sort of waist-high metal fence, and it's obviously taken a beating. However, there's still the kind of entrance courtyard and fountain within that would have been a status symbol beforehand and is now just, a monument to past wealth. It looks abandoned from what you can tell. There's no lights, there's nothing sort of indicating anybody being in there. It's quite big, like it's bigger than the bank, the building the bank is sort of built into. And it's what, like, just roughly would be sort of like maybe more to scale 50 feet, like double that. It's sort of like size. Well, no, probably more still. This isn't a to scale map, obviously. It's quite a big house. As you approach, you're going through the gate, through the fence, and towards the courtyard.
Yeah, I'll probably look around, see if there's anyone around or anything around.
Okay. There's no sign of any dwarf or anybody that you could kind of call out to or talk to. There's the fountain that has still working, like water's still flowing out of it, sort of creating a bit of a, that sort of gentle trickle. And above it, there's a sort of ornate silvery iron sphere globe almost, that kind of just rests on top of it, that is cascading the water out basically in its pattern. But there's nobody that you can see to talk to.
Okay.
As
Towards
you
the main door, then I guess.
As you progress through the courtyard and towards the main door, you hear a voice. I'm sorry, but my lord and lady are out right now. Please feel free to return later when they are home.
Can we come in and wait?
The lord and lady do not like people entering the manor without their permission. Do you have their permission?
Yes.
Ah, it is good to see that there are dwarves among your party. Hello, fellow dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
It is good to see you. Are you friends of the Lodgerton family?
We are currently looking for your owners.
My owners? I am not owned by them. They are my lord and lady. I am their protector. I am their guardian. I am their I am not property to be owned.
Well, we're looking for them nonetheless. Seems like they aren't here though. So could we have a look around to find some clues, perhaps?
They seemed to leave in a bit of a hurry. Roll a persuasion check. Sköld.
Aye, aye. I'll get to it eventually. There we go. Persuasion, oh dear.
Oh, nice. 15. You... I suppose they didn't say that you couldn't come and wait inside, but they didn't say you could either. I must admit, I'm very confused about what to do. This is a pickle, isn't it?
I suppose as long as we don't do anything bad, then you have no reason to evict us.
Very true. Very, very true. Do you intend on doing
We
anything
could
that would
also help.
Say again?
We could also help tidy the place up, as I can see in some damage. Maybe while we're waiting, we can hide.
Is that something that you think
Don't
they
want them
might
coming back
appreciate?
to a messy place. Well, it would be better if they came back to a nice little place as the lords of the manor. They're probably accustomed to higher standards, right?
True. True. I have had to execute quite a lot of people that have tried to damage this manor, and I'm afraid I didn't get all of them in time, and they did do some pretty bad damage, but I got them eventually.
How did you execute them exactly?
Well, I activated defense protocols, as is my custom. If you
Okay.
do not intend on committing any negative acts towards my lord and lady and their manor, I don't have to show you, but please be warned that if I even catch a whiff of you having any negative thoughts, then I will be forced to end you. And I will do so without prejudice
can
or
help.
worry.
We can help check the place out to make sure no one snuck in for you as well. Check the rooms, tidy up a little bit. Whereabouts are you then? Sorry.
I am here. You stood right next to me. You walked right
What am I
past me. You
looking
didn't
at
even
next to me?
you didn't even give me a second glance. That is quite rude of you, I must admit. Everyone does that. They never see me.
Is there anything there?
I investigate to see if I can see what it is.
The only thing you could potentially think of is it's the sphere on the fountain. It's the only thing that you've walked past other than the fountain and the gate.
Is the fountain active, like water
Yeah.
flowing from it?
Yeah, there's still water flowing through it.
Can I drink the water?
Yeah. It's clean.
Refreshing.
Ah, now you see me. I suppose that is part of my design, is that I go unnoticed, but it does get lonely.
So, are you the security system for the man and lady of the house?
Yes.
You know, you're well designed to be hidden, so
I know. That was the intention. I'm glad it worked.
What's your name?
I was never given a name.
Well,
You want
do
a
you
name?
want us to call you something?
Would that help you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then feel free to name me.
Hmm. What about... It's a sphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a fountain. Anyone got a good pun name for a sphere that's on a fountain?
Peter, I'm drawing a blank.
What about Florence, but Florence? I don't know.
Flow
Florence.
Rider.
Florence, but with a SPH.
A W in there. Florence.
We're making this harder and harder to
It's
say.
a silent S, and the PH is pronounced F. So yeah, it's Florence.
Don't get it wrong, Josh.
Already got it wrong.
I suppose Florence is
Flo.
my name. Flo. I like it. It's funny because I am on top of a fountain. Ha 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 ha.
Well, we are adventurers that have come to stop that giant dragon over there. Whether or not you can see it from where you are.
My lord used to be an adventurer, like you, until he took an arrow to the knee. I
feel
remember
like
that
we
day.
all know him, and we all cringed about him every single day.
Yes, his story did get out and become a bit of a well-known one. It was sad. He was very sad that day.
So, but yes, we're not here to hurt the house or the people in it. We are here looking for items and equipment that can help us defeat the dragon and restore the island back to the dwarfs.
Well, that would be lovely. If my lord and lady would return to me, that'd be very nice. It's very lonely out here. They used to come and speak to me occasionally, but they haven't been for a while. They still have some of their equipment left in the house.
Would it be okay for us to go in and have a look to see if that equipment is useful to us?
Would you return it?
If we were alive, yes. If we die, we would try.
Hmm. That is a tough one, isn't it? I don't really have a concept of death.
Well,
Do you come back? Like, would you have chance to bring the items back if you died?
yeah, there would be one last chance we could bring them back.
Would you... It's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. Well, if you promise to bring them back, even if you die, then I suppose it's okay.
Here's my promise, and then I flick a god coin into his fountain.
Well, be careful. That might block the filters.
Yeah, think of it as good luck.
Good luck, but what if it stops the water flow?
But you are a safety nut, ain't ya?
It's literally my job. Please remove it before it gets in the way of any of the pipes, and it could stop the fountain.
Okay. So you're not worrying, and you know we are trustworthy. I'll take back the coin.
Whew. Thank you. That could have been a disaster.
if you say so. We're gonna head in now, and I assume you will always be alert if anything is trying to sneak up on us. So, thank you.
That's okay. I'm glad I could help. Have fun.
We're good guys. Let's head in.
Can we just confirm that security systems are activated flow?
Oh, I'm the security system, don't worry.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. And that's what I think of that. Excuse me. As you enter the manor, the front doors have been knocked in, so are hanging loose. Inside, there's still, like, quite clearly a lot of wealth that is built just into this manor itself. Kind of exploring room to room, you see the remnants of the dining room and the remnants of what would be kind of like the entertaining room, and then a smaller room that is meant for just sort of lounging. And then there's even the servants' quarters, which are far less wealthy and just far less wealthy and kind of just simple. Eventually, kind of climbing through the building and getting to the higher level, there's a passageway that leads into what is essentially like a sauna, steam room, like swimming pool type area. And then at the end of that corridor, kind of out of place because the corridor keeps going to nothing, Bryn and Ruken both notice that the wall at the end of that passageway is slightly detached from the wall itself, and with a bit of a, like, Ruken offers to go first, and it's up to you, Bryn, whether you let him or not, but just kind of putting a bit of pressure against that wall, it slides inwards and then moves to the left and opens up into this very grandiose, essentially museum that is just full of all sorts. There's like racks and racks of potions that have lost their colour and their consistency. Some of them have kept it and others have not. There's a plinth with a golden, it's almost like a circlet, but it's made in the shape of a wreath, sort of flower wreath. And then there's a stand with very heavy armor, like very heavy plate armor, and a helmet and all of the trappings. And then in the hand of this stand is what it looks like a mace, like a flanged mace, and it's it's got 6 buttons kind of descending down the shaft of the mace.
Is it a one-handed mace?
Yes.
Are we all in this room? Sorry.
I presume so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll grab the mace.
Okay.
You said there was a bunch of buttons?
Along the shaft of the mace, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Try it.
I don't know if it. I probably won't try it right this second.
Yeah, I'll press them for you. Come over and try and press the button.
It's in my bag.
I'm gonna poke his bag.
You're just poking into the bag, nothing happens.
Damn.
Well, I mean, should we check those potions to see if there are any? Grab good ones from there still. Some of them look a bit ropey.
Yeah.
And
You wouldn't clean
expired.
them up here if they were bad, so even though we don't technically know what they're gonna do, they should still be beneficial.
I mean, is there any sort of lettering on the bottles, or maybe some flags on the plinths? Are they on plinths? I forgot.
These are on shelves.
Okay, is there any sort of? My God, what is English?
Signage.
Yeah,
Very
that
hard language.
that to indicate what the potions are.
I mean, some of them are they are just expired or they were poorly made. Others are labeled, and you can see what the labels are by opening the pile that is here.
Ooh.
There we go.
Dibs potion of possibility.
Well, everyone take what you want to take.
Bearing in mind, Vic took the mace rod thing.
The rod of Lordy
Yeah.
Might.
The wreath of the prism. I'll
Mom,
grab that for now. We can share
power.
out more.
Who wants worm poison?
So that will go on the weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I was assuming it would get rid of worms.
Ideally, someone does
Right.
anyone have a ranged weapon?
Technically, I have a
What if-
crossbow, but
Throwing axe.
If it does it per hit, then that'd be
I wish
good,
you
'cause
could
then
see beforehand what they do.
we can share them out anyway.
I mean,
Bryn,
Yeah.
you can.
I
grab-
think you should have the fire breathing potion because I already have
we
one.
can.
Well, maximum power sounds like Vic or Sköld, so
I think that's more of a Vic thing.
Okay, I'll take
Yeah.
it again, but we'll just share out stuff if we need to anyway. We'll have an evening to go through everything. And share
Yeah.
out.
There is a lot to go through, to be fair.
Maximum power.
All right. As you collect all of the items within this sort of museum from the Lodgerson Manor, you hear from outside Flo again talking, and you hear sort of gruff voiced responses, and then you just hear screams, and sort of, if you look out one of the windows at the top of the in this room that comes out to the front of the manor, you can see that Flo has turned from a perfectly spherical sphere to now just pieces of that metal that were adorning the outside of the sphere are now floating out, and inside there are just spears shooting out at all sorts of Duergar patrols, and like shooting out just blasts of shrapnel that just these bits of metal that are sometimes inches long, sometimes centimeters long, that are just flying out in all directions. And at the same time, these plates are just flinging down and slicing into the Duergar as well. And some of them are flying in, like running in, screaming to try and attack, and aren't even making it close because the like these shards are just flying out in all directions. And then almost as soon as it started, it ends, and there's now 24 Duergar just laid out on the ground, some completely shredded to pieces. And then
Oh, glad we're on the good side of that fountain.
as things settle, the metal plates now just retract back together and it turns into a perfectly smooth sphere.
Well, she definitely knows how to defend herself.
Yeah, we should be careful when we make our way to the next place. I don't know if they're actually following us or not, but it's big coincidence that they've been here as well in the middle of the night.
From the sound of what she told us, I feel like they've not been successful in actually searching this place fully. And she has been defending it so well that they keep testing the waters rather than sending a full army yet.
Yeah, still, just be careful.
Anyway, once we've got our stuff, I'll head back out to Flow.
Alrighty then. As you exit and you find yourself back out in the courtyard, the bodies are now. You notice that there were dozens of bodies that are now have now gone. No indication of where they've gone. And Flo is now just still resting on top of this fountain. The water returned back to its normal flow. And
Wow. We saw what you did. Amazing, by the way. What happened to the bodies?
oh, I disposed of them.
Even more impressive than I realized.
You have to make sure that the place is nice and clean and tidy for when the Lord and Lady return.
Well, we have got the couple items we have needed, and once we are done with our quest, we shall return them. So thank you for the help, and we are going to be on our way now.
Very well. Have a good day or night. Don't die.
You too.
Okay. But that probably took about 20 minutes. You still have about 2.5 hours of nighttime left before the sun starts starts raining. Yeah.
It's raining.
It's raining. Oh, blimey, it's raining.
Wow, so we don't need to go to the Wizard's Tower, right?
No, we are going to the Wizard's Tower.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
I mean, you can
I'm
help me
going
look
to-
for items. I helped you look in the relic shop.
That is true.
As you all start heading towards the Ordav the Great's Wizard Tower, you can see that it ascends very much like the bank. It's a fairly compact building that just grows as a sort of circular tower. Fairly simplistic in its design. There's no sort of interesting adornment to the building whatsoever. As you reach the outside and kind of circle around the building a few times, you realize that there's no door. There are, however, on first basic inspection, stone slabs that kind of rise up the tower and spiral round, but they are spaced out so that you can't use them as steps, or seemingly can't use them as steps.
Can I stick my hand on the tower and detect any magical entryway / door, like the Wizard Tower from... what was it? The one where we met Bryn. That door needed magic as well.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
They're gonna come up. I rolled it.
There it is. 18. You definitely feel an arcane scent. You're definitely getting an arcane feel from this place, but you don't seem to be able to detect a door or an entranceway.
I'll look over to Bryn and ask her if she has any idea on how we could enter the tower.
I mean, if there's no door, maybe just try and knock on the wall and see if that does anything.
Okay, I kind of shake my head. That won't work as I knock on the wall.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Nothing there.
Right, next magical person, Vic. Before Sköld, any ideas?
There's one that's got no door. Ask for a door?
It's worth a
Alright.
try.
How is that more reasonable than me knocking?
I look up at the wizard tower and ask it to let me inside and manifest a door.
Nothing happens. Ryukin comes over to the slabs that protrude from the tower, climbs up onto one, and then sort of takes a running jump to try and get to the next one, and sort of just misses and falls to the ground again. Maybe there's some trick to this, but I'm very small. Ugh. Vic, you are very
Step
tall.
on the slabs.
Can you
Will be
run?
thrown?
No, don't throw. Can you reach? I don't know.
Why don't you run to me and then I'll fling you up? Then you got the speed and the.
But then how will you get to the
Height.
next one? They go spiraling all the way around the top.
Yeah.
You might as well just fly then, right?
Rukin, have this. And I go to him, touch him, and give him freedom of movement.
Okay.
That's just for difficult terrain, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's difficult climbing. It might work.
That's not the same.
It's not the same.
How high does the tower go?
From base to the top, it's about 200 feet.
Yeah, right.
If you look on, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
I don't know. So there's like things I can. He wanted to try to jump around all the way around up.
Yeah. So out of the sorry, my brain just blanked on words. So all the way around, so they kind of go up in 5 feet increments, but there's quite a large gap between them. So it's actually so it seems like you wouldn't really be able to jump between each slab. And then they spiral upwards from base to top.
Seems a bit of a risky thing. I mean, I could just miss one and then I'm gonna get a little bit hurt. Are there any windows further up?
No.
Gold.
Yes.
Wait, before you talk to Sköld, I'll sigh dramatically. And I'll cast Fly on Big.
Fly.
I was gonna wonder if, because Sköld had that spell where you could see things that,
True sight.
yeah, maybe there is a door, but we just can't see it.
See the door.
Maybe you'll be able to see something, but it's a high level spell, right?
It is. We'll use it as a last resort.
Okay. Does anyone want to come up with me? I can carry one.
Be Aqua, as it's his tower. He wanted to explore.
I'm happy to, but I think I have a way in myself.
Oh.
Okay, I'll take Rukin then, because he's lockpicker,
Wow.
probably. You
Okay.
said I'd love to, but I've got way myself. So
Yeah,
I'll
it's true. That's
I'll
what you
ask
said.
Rukin.
Didn't even ask to me try it first. You just took Rukin.
No, he said, I'll take Aqua, and you said, no, I'm okay, I can do it myself. And then logic dictates that the next best person is Rukin, therefore Rukin's going. Sorry, Aqua,
Okay.
you miss out.
He'd lockpick if there's a door. You know?
Rukin kind of holds on to you as you start flying up the tower. Make a perception check, Vic.
Get advantage of these at least.
Nice. With a 23, as you're flying upwards, you can see you kind of catch a glimpse of one about halfway up, and then you keep noticing them. That engraved in the wall, very faintly, or not the wall, sorry, the slab, very faintly, is like a variety of runes that you sort of didn't sort of see. And then as you get to the top, there's you get to the top of the tower, and then there's a platform, similar slab, and it sort of deposits you onto the top of the tower, and there's a parapet, and there is 2 doors, each sort of like a sort of shed type thing, sort of 5 feet walls basically, with a door either side of the tower. Rukin looks at you and says, I'll take one if you take the other.
Could do, but I could also fly down and get Aqua in case his way didn't work. Maybe he should be up here too.
Maybe. Aqua, what is your way?
Well, I am going to stand right next to the wall and get ready to run through it. And just before I run, I'm going to cast Blinking Bumblebee by throwing one of my cards at myself, which allows me to become ethereal for 1 round.
Okay.
So that's 10 seconds of me being ethereal. I think.
6 seconds.
6, but okay.
6, okay. That's why it's running. Right at the wall. My goal is to become ethereal, run through the wall, and then immediately pop out the other side.
Okay.
Have you got another one to get back out by any chance?
Now, I'm sure once I'm in, getting out's easy.
I think this would be your last draw of the day anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any more draws would be a risk. But yeah.
Okay. You run at the wall, sorry. Throw your card towards it as you run and become ethereal. And as you run through the wall and Vic descends back down to collect the next person. Aqua, you run in, and you find yourself turning unethereal again, and you are inside a space that is very dark.
Okay.
Very dark.
If nothing happens to me, cast dancing light.
Okay. We'll come back to you. Vic, you descend back down the tower, seeing Aqua sprint, like running full pelt at the wall, and then just disappearing through it, leaving Sköld and Bryn behind. I guess you're going to take both of them up?
Yeah, if I can carry both, if they want to come up.
I mean,
If
you
not,
can
I
do
can
2
quick
trips.
trips.
Yeah, two trips is fine,
Sure.
if they're willing and allowing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
You get back to the top of the tower, and Rukin has been, it's sort of, you get back to the top the second time, and he's inspecting the door. He's like, I don't understand these doors. They have no lock. I can't pick them. They're not sealed with divine magic of any form. Vic, on sort of an inspection closer than just sort of a cursory glance, you can see that these doors are locked with runes. Simple runes that you are very familiar with. And all it takes is kind of a sort of counter rune being pressed against it for the locking to be undone and the door to open.
Okay, so I could do both, unlock both, and then 2 can go one way, 2 can go the other, or they lead to the same? I guess they lead to different rooms, right?
You would imagine so.
Should we
Are you
go
going?
2 and 2? I don't mind. We can go in one first, or
I don't mind
Probably
splitting.
guess we can.
I don't mind splitting up if you wish.
Okay, well, we should probably. Well, you 3 can all heal, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. Whoever wants to come with me, I'll go on the left one. Maybe we should definitely have a dwarf in each one, just in case there's more racist stuff going on in this
Yeah,
place.
okay. I'll come with you then.
I'll go with Rukin.
Alrighty then. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so Vic and Sköld equals left door. Bryn and Rukin equals right door. Nice. Aqua equals. There we go. And then we'll end the session there for today, because time has got away from me. We can go for 3 hours. Blimey. Time flies. Ah,
Sure does.
good job, guys. You didn't die. There's still time.
I
Oh,
feel
that's
that
crashed.
would have gone a lot worse.
You just wait, my friend. You just wait.
Yeah, you teleported through into the distant or somewhere where the poop is.
Nah, I think I found the true way in.
True way, the proper way.
Let's see. Right. Well, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back next week, all being well. And yeah, we'll conclude this race across the city for
Yeah.
equipment and stuff. So yeah, thank you. I'm behind on uploading last week's session. I keep meaning to do it, and then the weekend was rough, and I say rough, I went back to work, so I'm tired. And so I'm going to do that today or tomorrow, and then this session will be up by Friday. So yeah, look forward to that. Check it out on YouTube. And then, yeah, look forward to stuff that's coming in the future as we come to the end of this campaign. But yeah, we will see you next week. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you all. And we're going to go. So yeah, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.